All right, we are on page 141 and we are correcting last night's homework. So we started with number 6. So for number 6, it was 425 times 82. Now, like I told you guys, I wish my book would show the partial products. I don't know why they don't, but if we multiply 425 times 82, we should have gotten 34,850. Now, if you're looking at that and thinking, oh my gosh, Missy, I got a way different answer, I want you to be in your head going through those steps again, looking at, 2 times 5, 2 times 2, and 2 times 4, and making sure you did that math correctly. All right. And also make sure you added that placeholder 0 when you moved on to multiplying by the 8. Because if you forget that placeholder 0, that can definitely make a big difference in your answer. All right, are there questions on number 6, 5th grade? Okay. Next, we had number 9. So for number 9, we had 6,301 times 47. When we multiply those two together, we should have gotten 296,147. Now again, if you didn't quite get that answer, you are looking at your math. You are going back through and multiplying 7 times 1, 7 times 0, 7 times 3, and 7 times 6, making sure you did that math correctly. Then before you move on to multiplying by the 4 and 47, make sure you added that placeholder 0 for your second partial product. Are there questions on number 9, 5th graders? Yes, Jack P.
I got 360,847.
Well, you got the 47 correctly, so Jack, it's either you made a silly mistake while multiplying either by the 7 or the 4.
And I got the 6 right.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's either a silly mistake when you were adding the two partial products or when you were multiplying. So I would be double checking that. You guys, did you know that in your planner you have a multiplication table?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, my rule with the multiplication table is, I'll show you. My rule with the multiplication table is when we're doing something like this where it's like multi-step multiplication, like 7 times 8, if you don't know that off the top of your head and you're really struggling, you can use your multiplication table in your planner to help you. So if you start from the back and go a couple pages in, you have a multiplication table. I find these helpful when we do this because a lot of what this is you showing me you know the steps to multiplying. So when you make that silly mistake, I'll see a wrong answer, but if you're showing your work, I can usually figure out your steps. For your homework, like for number 9, when you get to the 7 and 47, you're multiplying it by 6. If you're having a hard time, like I don't know that off the top of my head, you can turn to the multiplication table in your planner and just find, okay, 7 and 6, that's 42. I'm okay with that. It's just that you want to make sure you are still practicing those multiplication facts so that you can, when I say, okay, what's 7 times 6, you do get better at, 42. Exactly. Frankie. Yes, you can. Michael.
Will we have any next year to show?
You will, but you'll have more time. Okay? Yes. So, again, you do have a multiplication table in your planner that you guys can be using to help you with those quick facts, okay? All right, so then we had number 11, which is on the next page. Scroll up. All right, so ready to rock. We've been talking about partial products a lot lately, 5th grade. Our partial products for number 11 are 904 and 4,520. So you should have circled those two numbers because remember, a product is the answer to a multiplication problem. The partial products are kind of the two answers we get before the final product, and we just have to add them together to get the final product. And then after number 11, we had 13. So for number 13, it said, Pete owns several pizza restaurants. He sells cheese pizzas for $12 each. how much money was made in January at the Westland location. So he sells cheese pizzas for $12 each, and the Westland location sold 1,824 pizzas in January. So we should have taken 1,824 and multiplied it by 12 to figure out how much money they made in January at that location. And you should have gotten $21,888. If you forgot a dollar sign, put it with your correcting pen, because on a test, if you forget your unit, you'll get half a point off. Because I want to make sure you understand what it is that you're finding. Are you finding dollars? Are you finding pizza? So, dollars. Are there questions on number 13? Show me with your thumbs, how did you feel about number 13? And even if you got it wrong, do you understand what you had to do? Like you knew you had to take 12 times 1,824. Show me on your thumb. Okay. All right, go ahead, put your hands down. Then we had number 17. So for number 17, it said Jane multiplied 825 times 22 and got 3,300. Flynn multiplied the same numbers and got 18,150. Which student is correct? What mistake did the other student make? So I think what most of you did to find your answer for 17 is you actually went and multiplied 825 times 22 to first see, okay, who got it right. When you multiply them, you do get 18,150. So Flynn was correct. And so I know that it was a little hard to figure out what Jane did wrong. So if you were trying to figure that out, you may have noticed that Jane may have forgotten, let's see, she multiplied by 2 instead of 22. Yes. So instead of 22, she just multiplied 825 by 2. That was her mistake. Now, if you said she forgot a placeholder 0, that would have been a good thing to inspect, but I don't think it would have quite gotten you 3,300. As long as you said Flynn got it right, you can mark this one as correct, because figuring out what Jane did wrong, that was a little tougher. So it's okay if you didn't quite get that part, but Flynn is the correct one. Jack P.
I wouldn't even get how Jane would get the answer. It's way too low.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you multiply it 3 times, you get the same answer.
Yep, exactly. Jane should have known multiplying 825 by 22 would get you definitely more than 3,000 something. Yep, so she should have known that wasn't quite the right answer, but I know figuring out what she did would have been hard. Will?
It's actually correct.
Yeah, yep, you're right. Mackenzie?
Well, I said she multiplied incorrectly because really, you could have said like in more detail that she only did 2. She only multiplied by 2.
Yep.
But I said she multiplied incorrectly.
That would work. Yeah, if you said something like Jane multiplied incorrectly, that's exactly what she did. So that technically works. Michael?
I just looked at this, and I said, well, 825 times 4 equals her answer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way that 22 can equal 3,300.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
4.
Yep, exactly. All right, I want you to show me, 5th grade, on your hands, your level of understanding for this whole homework assignment. All of them. And again, if you notice you were making silly mistakes, don't give me a 1. That'd probably be more like a 3. So what are we showing? All right, show me on your hands. How do we feel? Okay. All right, go ahead, put your hands down. Open up in your math notebook to the next clean page for today's math notes. No, it won't be too long. No vocab. Just practice. Yeah, dude.
So, will we have any later notes homework because we have a test today? So, it'll just be math homework and possibly spin.
Well, and reading. We'll do Winn-Dixie.
Well, yeah,
So, yeah.
If we do Winn-Dixie, will we just go right into practice? Because we are actually at the other half of class week, but if we're not,
I don't know. We're going to see if Mrs. Cummings comes get you, okay? Yep. Jackie?
We have reading today.
Yeah.
We're doing it outside.
We're going to go ahead, get our title at the top. So this says 3.6, solve word problems with multiplication. And today's date is the 18th, so 9/18/20. Go ahead and get the title and the date. 18, yep. Oh, let me turn this. Maybe that'll help a little bit. That's a little better. Hey, Voices 5th grade. Thank you. So 3.6, solve word problems with multiplication. 9/18/20. Then put a thumbs up when you're ready to move on. Yeah, dude. Can you loop the metal part back on the little loop there? You see it? Okay. Thank you.
Wait, we've been doing this.
What?
We've been doing solve word problems.
Yep, we're going to really practice some word problems today. And you guys, since it's word problems, we're only going to have 3 practice problems today. Because we're going to write down the word problems in our notebooks just so that we have them as examples. Are we ready to move on?
No.
Okay, I'll give you another moment to get the title and the date. You guys are doing great. Thank you so much. All right. So, we're going right into practice today. So let's label the practice section of our notes. I use 2 lines to write practice really big. It's up to you if you just want to write it on 1 line. Make sure you underline it since it is a section of our notes.
And wherever we write a word, always going to be underlined and
Yeah. All right. So, like I said, these are word problems. We're only going to have 3, but we do have to write out the word problem. So, the first one, and I'm going to read it out loud slowly, so if you're having a hard time seeing it up there, you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. Okay, so first one. It's not too much. So, this is a little star. That's what I like to use instead of bullet points, but if you would rather have a bullet point, you can. So, we are writing this out. I'm going to read slowly. So, in 1980, a painting sold for $1,575. $1,575. That's the end of the first sentence, so there's a period. The next sentence. In 2015, so first sentence, in 1980, a painting sold for $1,575. That's the first sentence. And the second sentence, in 2015, the same painting sold for five times as much. Period. So in 2015, the same painting sold for five times as much. Period. And we just have one more sentence to go. All right, that third sentence is, what was the price of the painting in 2015 with a question mark. So that third sentence, what was the price of the painting in 2015? Put a thumbs up when you've got that down. That way I can just see who's still working on writing the word problem. I see a few people finishing it up. I'll read it aloud again, just in case you need me to. In 1980, a painting sold for $1,575. In 2015, the same painting sold for five times as much. What was the price of the painting in 2015? All right, is there anyone who needs more time? Okay, so this is our word problem. And you guys, if we're really following along and doing well, we'll only do one more on as practice, okay? So we'll only have one more after this if we're really doing a good job of following along. So I want you, when I say go, you're going to turn and talk with the people around you. What do we know from this problem, and what are we trying to find out? Go, turn and talk. Once you're done talking about what you know, what you need to find, then talk about the steps you think you're going to have to do to find the Ready to rock. Ready to rock. All right. So my first question was, what do we know? And I heard pretty much everyone, you guys got this. We know that in 1980, a painting sold for $1,575. And we also know that in 2015, that same painting sold for 5 times as much. Then I asked, what are we trying to figure out? We want to figure out what the price of the painting is or was in 2015. Who can raise their hand and tell me what are the steps to finding the answer to that question? What is it? Layla. How many of you said you need to take 1,575 times 5 to find the answer to this problem? You are absolutely correct. So you are going to silently work out this problem below. Then you'll sit quietly. And if you're already finished, then your voice should be off so you're not disturbing others. Thank you. And I would like you to put a thumbs up so that I know who's still working on it and who. You can put that thumbs up on your desk. You don't need to go for it. Voices, 5th grade. You might be done, but other people are working. Remember, since this is a word problem, your answer should have units. So make sure your answer has a unit. Some people are pretty close to finishing up. Ready to rock?
Ready to roll.
Awesome. Okay, so let's look at this. Now, you guys, I usually don't use pens, but since our notes are wanting to be extra dark up on the whiteboard today, I am going to use a black pen so that you can make sure, or I can make sure you can see my work, okay? I don't like pens because you don't get to erase, and in math, we make mistakes. That's just what happens, is you want to be able to erase. So, we said we want to multiply $1,575 times 5 for our answer. So, if I write it out, 1,575 times 5. Did I line up my 5 in the right place, 5th grade?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. So then we would go through and we would multiply. What is 5 times 5? 25, so I would carry my 2, bring down my 5. What is 5 times 7? 35 plus 2 is, what's 35 plus 2? 37. We need to wake up this Friday morning. 37? I know. What's 5 times 5?
15.
Oh boy, guys. 5 times 5, 25. Plus the 3 is 28. Carry the 2, bring down the 8. And 5 times 1 is? Plus 2? 7. 7,875. Did I write my answer correctly?
No.
Who can raise their hand and tell me, what am I missing here? Drew, what am I missing? The money symbol, because our unit is dollars. So you should have a dollar sign, which is an S with a line through it. And then I'm going to circle it because it's my final answer. How many of you got $7,875? Okay. How many of you who may not have gotten it see what your silly mistake was? Okay. See, when we're practicing, you guys, if you don't get the right answer, that doesn't mean you failed the problem. As long as you see your little mistake, you're good. You got it. Okay, we're going to do one more because you guys did really well with this one. So we're going to do one more instead of 2 more. Okay? So, this is our next one. Not as long as the last one. So, and I'm going to scoot this up so hopefully, it's so clear on my computer, but on the smartboard it's a lot dimmer. Okay, so I put a number 1. If you want to label this one number 2, since if you label the top one number 1, you can do that. So this one says, there are 14 theaters at the mall. So that first sentence is, there are 14 theaters at the mall. Second sentence. Each theater has 175 seats. The second sentence is, each theater has 175 seats. Our final sentence. How many seats are there in all? So a question mark. Put a thumbs up when you've got this written down. finish up their notes. So there are 14 theaters at the mall. Each theater has 175 seats. How many seats are there in all? Once you and the person next to you have written that down, I want you to discuss what we discussed with the first one. First, what do we know? Second, what are we trying to find? And third, how are we going to find that answer? Turn and talk.
I know that there's 14 theaters at the
$7,875. Ready to rock? All right, I think everyone got it. So first, we're trying to find how many seats are there in all the theaters. We know that there are 14 theaters at the mall. We also know that each theater has 175 seats. Who can raise their hand and tell me, what are we going to do to find this answer? What are we going to do to find how many seats there are in all? Senna. Can you tell me those two numbers? How many of you said you need to multiply 175 by 14 to get the answer? Raise your hand if that's what you said. Only half the class said that? Wait, what? Raise your hand if you said you need to multiply 175 by 14 to find the answer. Alright, go ahead and silently work that out in your notebook. And if you're done, then you just silently wait without distracting the people around you. Without distracting the people around you. Since this is a word problem, your answer should have a unit. Make sure you have not forgotten to add that unit to your answer. With 3 people finishing up the problem. Ready to rock? All right, let's look at this together. So we agreed that we needed to multiply 175 times 14, correct? All right. Which number should I be putting on top when I stack these? Emmy.
175.
Yes, because it's the larger number. So 175 times 14. Did I line up 14 correctly?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so we should be starting with our 4. What is 4 times 5, 5th grade? Frankie? 20. Nice. So carry the 2. Bring down the 0. What is 4 times 7? 28. Plus 2 is 30. So I carry my 3. Bring down my 0. What's 4 times 1? 4. Plus 3 is 7. Awesome. Then I'm going to cross out the numbers I carried. What do I need to put before I move on to the 1? Placeholder 0, because I want my answer to, when I start putting that next partial product, to line up with the 1. So 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. And 1 times 1 is 1. Then we add our partial products. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. 7 plus 7 is 14. So I carry the 1, bring down the 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2,450. Did I write my answer correctly?
No. You have to add your unit.
My unit. Yep, it's a word problem, so I should have a unit. What is my unit? Who can raise their hand and tell me? What's the unit, Elena? Seats. 2,450 seats. It is a lot of seats. All right. You are going to close your eyes or put your heads down so you can give me a blind level of understanding. You're showing me anonymously what your level of understanding is. All right. When I say go, you are going to be thinking about the 2 word problems we just did. When I say go, you're going to show me your level of understanding. Remember, 1 means even with help I still don't understand, and 5 means I'm so confident I could teach someone how to do this. Go ahead, with your eyes closed, your heads down, show me your level of understanding with these word problems. Show me your level of understanding. I just see some hands from some people. Show me your level of understanding. Hands down. Hands down. Lift up your heads, open your eyes. Zoe, what was your question? So that means, like you can show your work, you can do that kind of thing, and you don't need, like someone helping you with it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, we're gonna circle the questions for our homework. Yes, Allison. That's okay. I see some of you sometimes, like if you're between a 4 and a 5, you'll go 4, 5, 4, 5. So I know that you're kind of in between. So if you go in between 2 numbers, I'll know that you're like at a 4.5 or 4.5. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So tonight's homework. We are opening up in our workbook to page 147. So go ahead and in your workbook, open up to page 147. My virtual learners, if you want to do another practice problem, here it is. And you can go ahead and pause the video and get this one written down if you want another practice problem in your notebook. Otherwise, you're going to circle your math homework right now. So virtual learners, you can pause the video and write down this next word problem if you want another practice problem before working on your homework. So, my class friends, you should be opened up to page 147 in your workbook. You are going to be circling for homework. Number 3. Number 4. Okay. Number 5.
Number 7.
The back. Then go on to the next page. You're going to circle number 6. And then you're going to go down and circle number 10. We're on page 147. Hey, voices, I need to repeat the questions or the numbers. So we are on page 147, Philip. Since you just got here, we're circling the questions for homework. So 147. Okay. So on page 147, we are doing number 3. So circle number 3, Philip. Number 4. Number 5. Then on the next page, number 6. And then number 10.